right, welcome to this week's episode of Cannamazoo Smokers Lounge. Today's going to be a nice laid-back episode for us. No particular guests for us today, but we do have a very nice little interview and tour video of the MJ Verdant, who we've had on the show a couple times now, of their grow facility. So we'd like to thank them for letting us into their workspace, letting us explore, letting us get the word out about them and everything like that. Should be a really cool little video. We also obviously have our friend Dr. David here with his Stündenglass and the Gravity Bong, and we're going to be smoking on the Kush Mints today. And Kush Mints is a very special strain for us at Cannamazoo. It's our highest testing strain, sitting at 39% CBDs and 32% overall THC. Really popular strain, really nice little flavor profile and everything like that. But before we get into it, we're going to let Dr. Dave give us the rundown again of the Stündenglass.
Yes, good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I want to say a huge shout out and thank you to Cannamazoo. I did a vendor day there last Friday, and it was a really wonderful time. Had a lot of great people come, show up, and ask me a lot of great questions about what an absurd experience looks like. All of the staff at Cannamazoo were so friendly and helpful, so really huge thank you to Cannamazoo for letting me have that vendor day. Also, want to start off again with another thank you to Monster Xtracts, because I don't know if you guys remember, but a month or so ago I was talking about how I was in a glass competition, and I was just recently able to finally pick up my prize for winning second place, and that was 4 different concentrates for Monster Xtracts, and I just want to say thank you to them. They're really awesome, and you should give them a follow if you can. Their products are usually available at Cannamazoo.
Oh yeah, we are stocked with Monster stuff. Come on in. They're usually running some sort of special too. So yeah, they are a good friend of Cannamazoo, a great ally for us. Mm-hmm. I noticed you have the Harry Potter sauce in the rocks there too, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Have you tried that out yet?
It is fantastic.
It's really nice too. It's really nice too.
It
yeah,
is fantastic.
They just dropped a cart, a 510 thread cart for vape pens and everything like that too. Sits at like 92% overall cannabinoids and everything like that. Ooh. Straight ripper. Love Harry Potter. Yes. Movies are okay. Love the
sauce on the rocks.
Sauce on the rocks.
Harry Potter. Oh,
sauce on the rocks is straight fire.
It is really good. I think the only one I haven't tried is...
What's that one actually?
This one is the banana punch muffin.
Here, let me smell.
Yeah, give us a smell of that.
We do not have this one on the store.
What about the donkey butter?
We have the donkey butter before. Yeah, we've had the donkey butter.
I was thinking about we might top the Kush Mints with a little bit of that donkey butter for when we use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give it what I like to call a snow cone. When you top your flour with a little bit of concentrates, a little snow cone.
Very nice. Yeah.
But yeah, so I just want to say thank you to them. But yeah, tonight we have the Stündenglass. This is a gravity hookah. This is one of the devices that everybody always seems to be just in love with. I think it is because it is somewhat hypnotic, especially when you're smoking it. You just watch it flip and drop, and it just draws you in.
Well, I remember back, years ago now, there was this, who was it, Seth Rogen, the guy from Superbad?
Yes.
He had a video where he was using a Stündenglass, and it was, I remember, like, that got me hyped. I remember, like, I want to try that really, really bad. So, yeah.
Exactly. And because, exactly, I think that so many people have seen that video, and they see other videos of people like Wiz Khalifa using it.
Yep,
sure.
I
want to use it, and I think that's also part of why I offer an absurd experience, is because then that way you can use the Stündenglass, get the pictures with it, say you've had that experience, and for much lower cost. But then also, if you really do end up loving it, then okay, I can justify spending that money on something that I love that much. I think I compare it to video games sometimes. Like, yeah, you get to try PS5 out at Best Buy, or back in the day, like a Meijer or some of the other stores was cool. You just remember looking up. But you can't do that necessarily with this. So I think that's where the absurd experience comes in, folks. So if you ever want to try Stündenglass, give me a look out on at Absurd Experience on Instagram and Facebook, and absurdexperience.com, and give me a follow and see what we're all about. But yes, you can rent this gravity hookah, a Stündenglass, for your party or event. And it always comes with some of the amazing accessories. As always, we bring in one of the nicest grinders that you're ever going to get your hands on. It's a Hoj grinder, H-O-J, and it is a grinder with blades that are actually cutting your cannabis as opposed to tearing it apart like you get with some of those other grinders that you might buy. So I am going to hand it over to Declan, and he will get some of the Kush Mints ready while I go through some of the other things that we got here on the table today. So we have our good friend, the tar cutter. This is actually a bit of a fusion. I took this tar cutter and I filled it with some of the carbon beads that I've gotten from a different website, and they work just as well. They cut all that nasty burn flavor that you might get with a bong rip and leaves you with all the smooth cannabis taste and all the flavor that you get with the different trichomes and cannabinoids that you're going to get with the flower. So really awesome device. It's one of the accessories that people rave most about. They say, oh, that's going to change my smoking experience, and it really does. And it really enhances the flavor of the flower. With that, we have the Bowls magnetic piece. Always awesome, because when you're done with this, you can split it in half, bam, 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 slap it in, down, and you're ready to go, ready for your next bowl. So once Declan has that nice and ground up, I'll get it packed for us. But I was also brought with us what's called a G-Pin Connect, and I brought it just because I have some of these other concentrates here today. And what this is this is just a little miniature e-nail is what I'd like to call it, because what we are, I think I'm going to try to offer us, Declan, is you just pop that right into the Stündenglass, because 14 millimeter, and you put your concentrates right into this little base at the top there. And with that, you give a few clicks to this battery on the side, heats up to a nice solid temperature, and with the flips of that, it's just going to fill this chamber up with some nice solid concentrates. So I think it's just going to be a good, fun night overall using this device with some flour, concentrates, a little bit of both.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy.
Awesome.
I'm happy.
But while I'm getting this bowl loaded up for us, I'm curious to hear. Oh, that smells amazing.
About the
that
Kush
smells
Mints?
really good. That's really good Kush Mints.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm curious to hear more about that. You have anything more to say about it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, like I was saying, the Kush Mints sits at a really high 39% CBD, total cannabinoids altogether, a 32% THC. I wanted to kind of show off the new and improved Cannamazoo website as well. I'm sure you're not going to be able to see it on my phone, but follow along at home and everything. If you go to cannamazoo.com now, and this has maybe been going on for a couple weeks now, maybe about a month. It's been updated like this, but we've really made it very, very slick. You can now go to our strains, to our homegrown strains, look up our particular harvest that you're looking for. So right now I'm in harvest 9, and it will show you all of the ones we had, all the flower we had in rotation for that harvest. Kush Mints being one, and this is the one that we're smoking on currently. It's going to be harvest 9 for us. And with that, it gives you full list of THC, the total CBD, total cannabinoids altogether, and then it also gives you the percentage read of the terpene profiles for all the flowers, which is really, really cool. A lot of companies don't even bother to get their flower tested for terpene, so understand that it is an extra price point for us, but we really want to provide you with all of that information so you can really make an accurate judgment of our flower for you. I'm going to give you a list. I'm going to run through the Kush Mints just a little bit, just to kind of show it off and let you guys know a little bit deeper. Get you a deeper understanding for it. So it's sitting at nice high 7.5 of mycerine. Mycerine tends to be a little bit more of it's the anti-inflammatory. It tends to have a bit more of the traditional like weedy musk to it, essentially. It's one of the most common terpenes that you're going to find in all flower. Really good for anti-inflammatory. They say it's actually anti-mutagenic too. So I mean, in that sense, I believe it almost wards off cancer-causing things and everything like that. So a really nice little beneficial terpene right there. After that, limonene is going to be, actually there's more limonene than the mycerine. So limonene is sitting at 9.3. Limonene is kind of like that lemony taste. You actually don't catch too much of the lemony flavor off Kush Mints. It's very minty, and it's also has a bit of a sugar cookie aspect to it too. It's a really, really unique little strain in the fact that it's so pungent with those flavors. You can catch slight mint and slight kind of sugary flavors off a lot of strains, but nothing this pronounced, I would say, at least not in the Cannamazoo shop. So really, really special bud there. With limonene, it tends to be a little bit more of an antidepressant and
anti-anxiety.
Yeah. So it's a really nice strain. It also is said to help with focus. I always kind of consider limonene and pinene to kind of go hand in hand there. They tend to play a lot, and they tend to actually kind of be pretty common on the same strains and everything like that. I'm a big pinene fan myself. And then let's see here. We got a little bit of linalool in there. Again, a little bit of pinene, a little bit of caryophyllene, and so yeah, all of these are coming together to make this really nice sugar cookie kind of pepperminty flavoring to it. It's a really, really nice strain. Very laid back high. It's can be sedative if you really lean into it, but other than that, it's a really nice kind of relaxing high. You can get giggly with it if you hit that perfect clutch right there. But a lot of the time, it's just really nice and relaxing, like a perfect end of the day smoke when you're getting ready for the big wind down. Not necessarily going to knock you out, but you can sit, watch your favorite true crimes or whatever the hot TV show is for you at the moment. I know we're watching The Staircase right now. That's a fun one. It's a weird one. Shout out The Staircase. Sponsor us. But yeah, let's chief this down, man. Let's get high.
All right.
Let's get high.
Yeah, let me get it up here for you so it's a little bit easier for both of us.
Thank you. You're very kind. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, I don't want to staff it. If it's just us, I want to make it easy for us. So, well, bam.
I appreciate
I'll
you.
hand that to
Cool,
you.
cool.
And give it a little tug once I'm ready to flip it over. You good?
Yep.
Cool. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Getting a nice smell of it already. It's a good, because just like sometimes you get those smokes that have like, you're like, oh man, it already smells really, really skunky in here, but, or just like, I don't love this smell, but this is great smell.
This is the first time I've hit it through this too, and man, very clean, very clean.
Oh yeah, that'd be a perfect good one.
Yeah, you're catching much more of the actual like sugar cookie aspect of it than the mint right now.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then on that that next exhale, you catch those mint notes. Yeah, so when you're actually breathing out that smoke, it feels much more cookie-esque. But when you're getting the dry hit after that, much more minty.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh man, Declan hit the nose on the head for how to describe that. When you're inhaling it, it tastes like you're inhaling a warm batch of. Here you go. I don't want to. Yeah.
And
nice.
what'd you put on top of that
I
there?
tapped it with a little bit of the donkey butter.
Okay.
Which is a THCA quicksand from the Monster Xtracts.
Okay,
So that's what I
okay.
tapped it with.
And I was gonna say that's probably why you're not getting like a super minty hit off it right out the gate.
But right from the beginning, I think you're right. Probably is the donkey butter affecting it, but it tastes just like a really wonderful warm cookie that you would taste from Grandma's house right on the inhale. But then on the exhale, you get this really sweet minty flavor that really just is nice. And Declan, by all means, I feel like you've been around the Stündenglass enough. Don't feel like you're ever getting grabby if you're like, no, just pull it and want to do your own thing with it. I trust you, man.
You're good. You're showing off your skills. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, that's one of the things I like to do for people is that they don't have to worry too much about taking care of the Stündenglass. Like, I can see what they need, what they want to do, and like pass it to the next person. And that comes with the service. When you rent the Stündenglass, yeah, you're renting the device, but you're really renting me along with it if you'd like it. That's the way it gets me to kind of help you along with any troubleshooting issues, get us to figure out what is the best flow. If somebody is kind of new and they're only able to take in, like half of this, and they're like, I can always...
Stündenglass is a little intimidating for novices, in all honesty. You can see me choking up on it a bit here.
And so, but people always still have a lot of fun with it. Whenever I go around to events or parties, people will always come, conglomerate right around it and just be like, oh, I have to try it. It's so pretty. It's so intoxicating.
Yeah.
I'm working on maybe getting some smaller globes so then that way people aren't getting this, I think it's a 3-cup a fluid hit worth of pull.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm like looking towards maybe getting some 1 cups, so that way it's not as for some of the more novice folks into it. But I have some really cool. They have some really pretty pineapple globes that go with it, and that are more of the 1 cup style. I think that's what I'm probably gonna pick up next.
Okay,
and
just straight glass blown
They're
pineapples for you.
pretty 100%. They are blown, and they even have little ridges on them, and they look like pineapples,
Okay.
and they're really fun globes. And so I'll have to showcase them
Okay,
those
great.
off at some time in the future. But I couldn't say anything nicer about the Kush Mints right now, as far as flavor and effects, because even that, I'm sure you're feeling really well, because I feel pretty good even off that 1 bowl I had myself. But flavor, feeling, I'm really getting the relaxing feeling, the anti-anxiety feeling. Off of this one, so it's much more relaxed. I don't know if any. Full disclosure for the people watching, but my leg was kind of like shaking at the beginning of this, and it's much more relaxed. Like now, I'm not feeling the need to have to like shake my leg. So no, it's very, very enjoyable flower, and I'm certainly gonna want to have to get down to Cannamazoo. If it's in stock, I'm definitely gonna have to go down there and make sure I pick up an 1/8 or 2.
Oh yeah. No, it's a fantastic little strain. And for those of you who don't know, what we topped with was THCA sand, which is a concentrate that is literally just made for infusing your flower. You just roll it up into doobies. You pack it into bowls. A lot of people try to dab it, and you can absolutely dab it, but I encourage you to mix it in with other dabs. It's really, really flavorful. You get a little it really changes the hit altogether, and it's super concentrated, so it's a really high dosage, and it can lay you back really nicely. But I encourage you to try infusing some of your. What did I do? I did my New Year's Eve joint was our banana punch, and then the green runts from Monster.
Oh, green runts is
so
fantastic.
Oh yeah, so it was really it was a nice really fruity banana flavor with a nice sharp tart bite to it. It was really fantastic. But it's a really fun little thing, and a really fun little way to mix up your smoke.
That I've been topping a lot of my bowls lately, because usually when I'm at home, at the end of the day, I'll pack up a bowl and then I'll either load it with keef. But recently, I've been getting into using the different THCAs and topping it with that, and it's a lot of fun. It does change it. It really affects the overall power of your bowl, and you feel like instead of having to go through 2 or 3 bowls, you get this 1 bowl, and you're like, all right, I'm relaxed for the evening, sort of thing. So I can see why that would be a really fun New Year's Eve joint for you, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, it's really fun stuff. But we're going to continue to enjoy this bowl here, and we're going to throw it to our tour of the MJ Verdant facilities. Boom.
We opened up our facility, MJ Verdant, about a year ago. This past March, we got our licensing. It's 33,000 square feet total with our office space upstairs. We have 64 grow lights in each of the 7 flower rooms, and we have 48 lights in our 2 bedrooms. We have 5,500 plants, and it's under both AU and medical licenses. So in our environmental control, we have a 150-ton chiller with 5 fan coils in each of the flower rooms. And with the electrical service with our chiller and all the lights, we ended up with a 2,000 amp service. And we do have our own primary transformer in the building to help with our electrical costs. We get a better rate out of consumers, our power energy supply.
We currently are growing in cocoa, so it's a soilless mix, and by drip feed in 2-gallon pot size.
So it's been about 4 years, I think. My brother-in-law Vaughn had the idea of getting into the legal market side of things, and approached me about looking for a place, building it out, getting zoning changes, et cetera, and kind of put together a little bit of a team, because I'm not a grower. This is the grow team. along with a few others. But the long, hard road of getting pre-qualified, finding the building, getting the fit out done, it's just a long process. It was a pain in the butt. But here we are. Been open for just over a year now, and when we started ramping up, we finally got to full capacity of all our rooms, and our plant counts are high now. So now we're basically just about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago now, in full operation, full swing. So we have 24 employees, and things are just clipping now. Things are going good.
Yeah, every 10 days we're cutting down 240 plants, so it's a pretty good operation now. I mean, it's a lot of plants. I don't know, we're hoping to expand to a processing sometime, but right now we send all of our stuff out. We currently have, I would say, 20 strands. We have 4 new strands coming out. We had a local breeder make us. Joya Serpentine, Joya Jade, Joya Peridot, and Joya Green Sapphire. Joya is kind of like our own name that we made up to represent the seeds. The other names are like the surname. As for the ones we're growing currently, I mean, Wedding Cake, Rabbit Hole, King Louis, those are some of the big ones that, garlic cookies, that, test high testers as long as terpenes. Terpenes are a big part of cannabis that a lot of people don't know about. And, if you can get over 2%, you're doing pretty well, I think. The new strands coming out, we just harvested for the first time, I'd have to say about 3 weeks ago. So we're picking through, sorting out which moms we're going to keep, doing testing on all of them. So it's kind of a work in progress, but I have high expectations on all 4 of these strands. So we're looking good, I think. Personally, I'm looking to see a skunk, an original skunk. Haven't seen it since probably mid-2000s. I haven't really seen a real skunk that actually smells like a skunk that's outside. And hey, I know it's gross, but that's my origins of cannabis. When I first started smoking in the mid-90s, if you got something that smelled like that, it was the best out there. So I'd like to see something like that.
I think what I'd like to see is people enjoy it more like a good old cigar kind of thing, and not necessarily just looking to get high. And that's what when Graham talked about the terpenes, I think finding something to get you a little head high, but also look for that quality in the higher end boutique kind of cannabis. That's what we want to grow. Something that's just high quality, good flavor, does its job when it needs to, but offer a strain or two that might not be quite a heavy hitter that you can enjoy and smoke for a while, not just get to where you got to be instantly.
Right.
Right now, the market just wants the highest THC. They don't give a shit about terpenes. They just want to get as high as they can, as quick as they can, for as cheap as they can. It's kind of seems like what's going on. What I'm excited about is our new strains that we have coming out. One of the things, we compare our industry to the beer industry a lot because people can relate to it. And I think having our own unique strain is going to offer us a kind of our Oberon, if you will, of the weed industry that only we have. And we will grow it when we want to grow it, and hopefully sell it for what we want to sell it for, and go down that road. But obviously it's going to be high quality. It has to be for the consumer to want to follow us and buy it wherever we put it. So that's what I'm excited about, is our custom strains that hopefully only us will hang on to for a long time, and kind of go down that road. I think that's going to be the best thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's the same thing, because in this business, you got to have what other people don't. And when we had these strains commissioned, we made sure that we were going to be the only ones who had it. And I mean, they were pre-tested by the breeder. They're all supposed to be over 30% and 3% terpenes, but like I said, we're going through that testing right now, and you got to find the right mom. We popped 125 seeds of each one of these strains, so it's a hunt, but it's exciting, you know? You never know what you're gonna get. So, you know, I would have to say that is definitely what I think is gonna bring us above other people having what they don't.
Yeah, I agree.
I started smoking marijuana in the mid-90s. About 3 months after I started smoking it, I started selling it. Because, I mean, it was expensive back then. It was really crazy. And I took a couple of hits along the way. In 2001, I got caught with 11 pounds. Did some time. Then in 2008, as soon as it passed, I ended up getting my medical marijuana card. By the end of 2009, I was growing my own 12 plants. I had a conglomerate of other caregivers. We were trading back and forth. I mean, right when it was the wild, wild west. There was no, I mean, I was supplying a few dispensaries in Grand Rapids right when it first started. It was kind of awesome, but I wanted to do it to where I wasn't afraid anymore. I wanted to work in a facility. I didn't want to be selling stuff out of my house. So, you know, me, Jim's brother-in-law, another guy who works here, Tony, we started talking, like, we need to get something going. We need to get something going. And, you know, and it's long story short, you know, Vaughn's brother, construction guy, I can build you guys an awesome building, you know. So next thing you know, we're just like, oh yeah, let's get this all together. And literally, like he said, it's been almost technically 5 years. 2017, I think, is when we started doing this. So it's been a journey, but I wouldn't change it because, I mean, this is awesome. I mean, all the people in the business that you meet. I went to the Sensi party, Mardi Gras party a couple months ago, or a month ago, and that was amazing. Everybody there just, I don't know, I've never been around so many cannabis-friendly people in my life. It was awesome. It was like going to the High Times Cannabis Cup, pretty much. So, and that's about it for me, I guess.
Yeah, and I think Graham set it up a little bit when my brother-in-law came to me and we kind of came up with the idea. It was fun, and I was 30 years in construction, so I was kind of getting a little bit burned out of that. And this is new and exciting. I don't know anything about growing, but I'm a quick learner. I ask these guys lots of questions. They almost are like, "Man, you just don't get it." But I'm picking up.
Yeah, he definitely is.
But getting the facility to what it is, well, that was my fun. That was my joy in working with all these guys and doing something completely different. I will tell you, looking back in life, even going back 5, 6, 7 years, if you would have asked Jim Connor, would you be involved in a cannabis operation, especially of this size, I would have thought you were crazy. But here we are.
Yeah.
And I think we're having a blast and trying to solve problems. And I mean, there's plenty of those every day.
Right.
But, the crew's awesome. They got a good attitude, and it's just been a lot of fun. So I think it's great. You know, there's nobody that has, how do I say this, figured out how to grow cannabis as good as these guys since it's been legal. I mean, it isn't like you went to school for it. Right. You know, yeah, there's certain things, but growing cannabis is its very, very own unique thing. It isn't like growing tomatoes at home in the backyard or anything. I don't just go buy one plant and harvest it at the end of the summer. This shit is wicked weird, and
you really
all
need
the
passion. You need the passion. You need to really care. I mean, I don't know. That's why I've seen a lot of people become caregivers, and then they give up after 6, 9 months, and it's just you really got to care about the plant. You really do. You got to stare at it. You got to look at the veins of the leaves. You got to look at the dirt. Look inside, stare at it. You know, I mean, I'll sit in my grow. The first 6 months I grew, I would get home from I owned a restaurant at the time, so I worked my restaurant. I'd come home, and I would just go in my growing room and sit for like an hour and smile. That's my passion, so I love it, you know. I really love marijuana. It's great. I mean, recreational, sure, but there is a lot of medical benefits. People that use it recreationally don't really have to use it medically because you're getting all the benefits. So, I don't know. I would recommend a little bit a day for anybody that's able to use it. Me, personally, I like smoking, and I like smoking with a mixture of oil or hash. I mean, it doesn't matter, with flour. Personally, I don't, edibles, I can take, if I'm in pain, I will take an edible. I get a toothache and my back starts hurting, I will eat some edibles. But personally, I can't control the high off an edible. I can't keep eating just a little piece like every half an hour or 45 minutes. Like I can hit my bowl 3 times and then I'm good for 45 minutes, you know. So personally, I like smoking. I know it's not the healthiest way, but you know, I mean, I like I said, I like edibles. I just can't control how high I get, so that's why I don't mainly eat them.
I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'll tell you this: I prefer the smoking side of it. For the same reasons, Graham. Every time I've tried edible, it's either I don't get anything out of it, or all of a sudden I'm just too high or don't feel right. So, no, I'm still dabbling and experimenting.
It's kind of up in the air because the state of Michigan just keeps passing licenses out like I don't know. I don't understand why they're doing it. I mean, we don't need an 80,000 plant grow in Battle Creek. We have, I think, the amount of people that are growing right now is sufficient. They should make it like liquor license, so where there's only this many, and you sell this, and oh, you want to grow? Well, find somebody selling the grower license. I honestly think they need to put a cap on it. It's just too many. As far as dispensaries and processing, that's not the same because they're only going to use as much material as there is. I mean, the dispensaries, you can have as many dispensaries if people want to take a chance. I don't think there needs to be as many dispensaries as there is too. There's like 8 right on our road and 14 in Muskegon right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on it, but it's good. It seems like it would be hard for a small mom and pop guy to open up a dispensary and succeed. I don't understand why they have to put so many up. It don't make sense to me. I mean, it's fine, but the grows, we don't need any more grows. That's just, and all the ones that are doing these light depth greenhouses and they're selling pounds for $800, I mean, they're destroying the business for us. They really are. I mean, if you want to do light depth greenhouse, sell it for the same. I mean, the cannabis it's close to being as good as indoor, but it's not the same. It's darker. There's usually bug problems when you have greenhouses. And I mean, I can't say that everyone would have it, but I don't know. I would just really like them to put a cap on the licenses for grows. It'd be a lot better.
And I think they could look at some of the states that were before Michigan and how that turned out. I mean, go to Oregon, for instance, is probably the best example, where when they legalized it, the market got flooded. It crashed. Several places went out of business. It's since rebounded because it's kind of right-sized itself. And I don't know why Michigan couldn't have been smarter and just paid attention to that and learned from that. We kind of limp into it. I mean, the previous administration kind of had the door half open because the voters passed and legalized it. They were real slow at letting things go, which was kind of a pain in the butt. But when they opened it up, started doing it, I think what happened with the new administration, they just kind of opened the door wide open and a lot of crazy shit went down. So getting that right size, I think, is going to be critical. I think they need to do it quick because there's going to be a lot of mid-sized, smaller guys that are going to struggle. The bigger guys, they got a lot of funding behind them. They can ride that wave of selling weed for $800 a pound. But I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of smaller guys and mid-sized guys that they won't be here if the market tries to stay at that rate. They'll be gone before we know it. They won't make it this year. So I agree with everything Graham said. I think that the state needs to cap it and cap it soon, or the cannabis market in Michigan will be different in the next 2 years. I guarantee you there's plenty of places that are growing indoor weed that cannot grow it for $800 or $900 a pound and make any money. Not possible.
They lose money.
Yeah. And we have a very efficient building running with all LEDs and the chiller. I mean, lighting control systems. I mean, we're high tech, and $800 a pound doesn't make any sense to even turn the lights on. Well, the thing that's crazy about it is I think Brisboe thinks his job is to drive the price down for the consumer. His job is not to control the market or have influence in the market whatsoever. His job is to regulate it and to enforce the law that was passed. And when you read his reports on a monthly basis and his annual report, he's real proud that they've driven the price of cannabis down for the consumer. And I think that's a serious conflict of interest from what his job really is. And I think the rest of MRA and the legislatures need to see that and pay attention to that, because there's millions of dollars being invested in this industry. You get a lot of people, and the market can support it the way it was, and by driving it down, it's going to put a lot of people in bad spots. And I think that this country is a free enterprise kind of thing. It needs to be left alone and let it run that way.
Yeah, I don't see him trying to drive the price down of insulin or chemotherapy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm not saying that it needs to get. I like the price where it's at, but it doesn't need to go down further. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Really, to succeed, I would just say I'm going to answer this from, like, if you want to get a job at a facility like we're in right now, and I would say, really, you just have to care. That is the main thing. When you walk into this place, I will give anybody a chance. You got to try, and nobody's going to know how to grow a marijuana plant when they first walk in here. But if you can learn, you could do your job. I mean, the main thing is you have to love using scissors. Non-stop using scissors. I don't care what part of the position that you're at, you're going to be using scissors daily here. That's the main thing. You got to be able to really be able to wear gloves and be able to use scissors, and you can work in the cannabis facility pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think kind of touching on that a little bit with what we said, getting into it, if you want to run the business, own a dispensary or grow or processing, I tell you to be cautious. Study the market, study your business plan, make sure you have that figured out, and probably have 3 times the amount of money you think you need to do it, because the runway is long to get started. Advertising, branding, doing whatever it is with your product, finding a customer base, buying at the right price, selling at the right price. It's a lot longer process than you think. So that was probably our biggest lesson that we learned, and we survived. We're doing fine. And then as far as working in a grow, or just thinking, if you don't know anything about it, be patient, and a lot, like anything, ask questions and do a good job. But I think the misconception, and Tony, if he were here, he'd say something like this: if you think you love working with plants, then you should probably stay at home and work with your 6 or 12 plants, because when you come here and you work with 5,500 plants for 8 or 10 hours a day, you probably aren't going to love working with plants every day, all the time. I mean, it's a different thing. It becomes monotonous a little bit. So have that in mind, I think.
And thank you again for our friends at MJ Verdant for giving us the tour, giving us the rundown. Great interview. So we are going to do our sign-offs. So follow us at Cannamazoo _ Smokers Lounge all right, Cannamazoo. I'm going to get this time without looking at my phone. Cannamazoo _ Smoker _ Lounge, and also at Cannamazoo.com. Dr. David, take it away.
Yes, at Absurd Experience, both on Instagram and Facebook, and absurdexperience.com. Always, please feel free to reach out to. I'm always willing to answer any questions that you might have about what an absurd experience entails. And thank you again to Cannamazoo for wonderful vendor day. Thank you again to Monster Xtracts for hooking me up with this fantastic prize. It's just been fun, as always, to hang out with you, Declan, so thank you. And big congrats to you in your life. So we don't need to tell the viewers, but awesome to you.
Thank you very much. So signing off, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.